Okay, and in today's interview, very pleased to be welcoming Jonny Everett from thechatshop.co.uk. And Jonny is one of the co-founders of the Chat Shop. He is an entrepreneur and an expert in live chat, and he helps companies to deliver growth through the use of live chat. And he also runs managed services based out of the UK. So a very big welcome, and thanks for joining us, Jonny.
Thanks for having me, Tony.
Excellent. Now, when people often ask, when people like say to me, Tony, what's the one thing I can do that's going to improve my website today? I always say live chat, and we've been using it for years, but I know sometimes that message doesn't get through, and we make a big point of that in our book, The Lazy Website Syndrome. So I guess let's just go back to basics then. What exactly is live chat so people can understand it a bit better?
Sure. Well, live chat, also sometimes known as click to chat as well, that's another industry term they sometimes use. Is basically a software solution that allows any visitor on your website to open a box and type and speak with an agent or a representative of your company. So there's no software installs, it just sits on your website and it allows you as a business to give your customers or people on your site an opportunity to instantly type and have a conversation with you.
Excellent. So, I mean, as I say, we understand the benefits, but maybe people that haven't used it, what are the real benefits that people can expect when they do implement a live chat solution on their website?
Sure. I think it's interesting to note that a lot of the way people consume online and the way people shop and buy has fundamentally changed. And the consumers you're dealing with today aren't necessarily the kind of people who will pick up the phone or who will send an email or who will fill in your contact form. And so it's important that as businesses we make it as easy as possible for our customers to engage with us and to speak with us when we need them. So the key benefit lies in that aspect of it, in that you can offer a customer an instant way of getting in touch with you, speaking to you, asking some questions, and really capturing that percentage of visitors who perhaps they have a question, perhaps they're not quite sure if you do or don't do something. That percentage of people who normally would leave and go to your competitor's website, it gives them an easy and instant way of actually understanding your business better and gives you an opportunity to sell your business.
Exactly. I mean, I always make the point to people that sometimes people, they may want to contact you, but they may be a bit reticent about phoning up for whatever reason. It may be that they don't understand your products or services, and they might feel a little bit intimidated about asking questions on the phone, but they're much more comfortable doing that using the live chat. Do you find that that's the case as well?
Yeah, certainly. And I think as well, because we've gone through kind of a big era recently of a lot of cold calling, I think people now are quite skeptical about ringing businesses. I think people feel like they're going to put themselves in a sales situation, and that they can't just ask a question and leave. They feel like they're going to have to then be pushed to buy something or be pushed to make a commitment. Whereas with live chat, there's a great kind of balance between being able to build a relationship but also having a bit of a disconnect. So customers feel like they can ask something and then make a decision kind of without someone forcing them or waiting for them to respond on the phone.
Yeah. Now, I mean, is it limited to just sales, for example, or could you use it for other support or billing related issues as well?
No, most certainly, and great application in the hosting industry, as I'm sure you know, is customer service. It's a great tool for especially giving any sort of instructions out, because obviously it's text-based, so people can read it and follow it. And it also means that you can bring in other experts into the chat if you want to. You can also do things like share your screen and show people what you're doing, for example. So while sales is where kind of chat will deliver a direct revenue, you can actually also get some good savings from reduced phone calls, reduced emails and things like this.
You can also, I mean, things like sort of standardizing the responses, that I guess that's quite easy to do as well with canned responses. So you can sort of handle, is it normal for people to be able to handle multiple chats at once?
Yes, correct. So for one chat operator, depending on how technical he was doing things, should be able to handle about 3 concurrent chats.
Oh, excellent.
We'd expect. So yeah, it gives a great cost saving in terms of 1 agent to 3 people rather than 1 phone operative to 1 customer.
Okay, I mean it all sounds well and good. Is it an expensive thing, or is it difficult to implement?
I mean, from a cost perspective, the largest cost really associated with chat is your staff. It's still the human capital element. The software itself, there's a range of costing. So there is some even freemium software now on the market, which is completely free for one license. And then most kind of good softwares, I would say, are about $25, $35 per license or per seat, so to speak. The biggest cost involved in chat is having someone there to actually answer questions and be present and available.
But I mean, that person, they don't need to be a technical expert to use this type of tool, do they?
No, certainly not. The installation onto a site is very simple, and then depending on how customized you want the front end to be, so what the customer sees, you can do either very minimal out of the box, kind of changing the color to match your site, or you could go all the way and completely brand it and customize it so it's really well integrated.
So I mean, if someone's got, say, a receptionist or a secretary or a PA or whatever, or even a virtual assistant, you can get people to be in the office working on your behalf whilst you're out there selling or doing whatever you need to be doing. The point I'm making is it applies to small businesses as well as big businesses.
Most definitely. I think for small businesses, especially if they're online, it gives them a great, like you said, other opportunity to actually be present online and to be selling in almost two places at once.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on.
I was going to say, what about sort of mobile applications and that type of thing?
Yeah, so one of the companies we work a lot with, Live Chat, they have a mobile application, for example. So if you are roaming around, or you've got an iPhone, you've got an iPad, you can take chats on that.
So even if you were, say, you were somebody that whose business involves them travelling a lot, you can still take chats while you're on the go. Is that the case? Yeah,
for sure. They'll come straight through to your phone or to your iPad. So it just depends on your, again, availability at the time to answer them. But the solutions definitely for small businesses are there, whether it's a virtual assistant solution or whether it's kind of a mobile device solution. It's definitely possible.
Okay, so if someone's going to get started and they're interested, how do they get started? What's the sort of next steps then? I
think the key, as far as I'm concerned, is understanding what you're looking to achieve with chat. So we spoke before about sales, customer service. How you then use chat could be quite different depending on what you're looking to do. If you're looking to do a salesy role, you might send a lot more chat invitations. So ask people if they want help with this product, for example. If it's customer services, you might look to be more kind of responsive to customers. So first of all, decide what your business goal is with the chat and how you want to use it. Then I would actually suggest that you use perhaps one of the freemium chat trials and put it on the site. See how people respond to it. See how your customers interact with it. What kind of questions are they asking you? What kind of things do they want to know? And actually, there's a lot of valuable feedback in chat because it will tell you where your site is going wrong, where people can't find certain information. So that's really helpful. And then from there, I would say you need to look at your analytics. When are your key points that you really must 100% be online? And then create a strategy for staffing that. How are you going to staff that? Are you going to do it as a mobile solution? Are you going to get some sort of virtual assistant or outsourcer? Or are you going to be able to actually just be at your desk for that period of the day where people really are online, the key points for your business?
Excellent. So I mean, does it come with some kind of reporting? What sort of, a lot of these tools, that I guess you can have as much or as little reporting as you want. But what are the key things that people should be looking out for if they do implement something like this? Then you were talking there, I know, about the sort of the profile of hours and that type of thing. What are the main things that people should be looking for?
I think the key things are when is your main chat usage. So when's the peak of traffic during your day? Because that gives you your kind of peak capacity. If it's just you and there's you're trying to handle, say, 5 or 6 chats at once, then that's going to be very feasible. So looking at your capacity is very important. I think also looking at the average length of a chat is quite important. So some things you'll find are quite in-depth and will take longer, and some products and services only require a few questions. So how your customers using it will normally dictate how long the chat is. And finally is the invitations and where are people actually accessing the chat. So at what point are people looking for your chat? Because that will also give you a good indication of how well your website's performing as a whole.
Gotcha. Okay, as I say, it's a really sort of broad area, but I always say to people, the number one tool, the number one thing that you can do to improve conversions on your website is to install a live chat facility. So I'm a real advocate of it. But if people have got questions, if they want to take it a little bit further, how can they get in contact with you? LinkedIn, or what's the best way?
Yeah, I'm on LinkedIn. I think if you want to connect with me and just mention the Pickaweb interview, and then that'd be great, because then I know where you've come from. Also, check out the website, chatshop.co.uk. I mean, we're happy to also have chats with people about kind of what they could do or how it might work for them. That's not a problem. So yeah, please just get in touch and we can have a chat.
And I guess just click on the chat button on your website.
Exactly, yeah. Exactly.
They can have a chat.
Have a chat with us. We're online till 8 PM Monday to Friday. So there you go.
That's brilliant. Okay, well, thanks very much, Jonny. I really enjoyed that. I'm sure that, as usual, people will have comments. If you have got questions, feel free to just put them below. Jonny and myself will be keeping an eye out for any questions that you have, and we'll get them answered as quickly as we can. So, again, thanks very much for your time, Jonny.
Thanks, Tony. Cheers.
All the best then. Bye-bye.
Bye.